Some love stories are shouted. These ones are whispered. Tonight, we step into the gray area where fashion, fandom, and identity collide. Where the world keeps asking, so, are they? And the answer is a beautiful, infuriating, liberating silence. From Harry Styles melting gender rules, to Shawn Mendes carrying the weight of a question he never asked for, these 10 stars live between labels, and that's exactly why we can't look away. Watch to the end, then tell us, does a celebrity owe the world a definition, or is refusing the label the most radical move of all? 1. Harry Styles, the style icon who won't be defined. Harry Styles doesn't just bend gender norms, he melts them. From silk blouses to pearl necklaces, from Vogue covers and dresses to whispery handholds with friends of all genders, he has become a walking contradiction, both the most visible male pop star of his generation and the most elusive. The question has followed him like a second shadow. Is he gay? Or bi? Or pan? Or just playing dress-up for headlines? But Harry has never answered, and that silence is louder than any song he's sung. Back when he was in One Direction, fans dissected every movement, every glance he shared with his bandmates. Larry Stellanson conspiracy theories dominated Tumblr, but Harry never indulged it. And when he went solo, he didn't clarify. Instead, he confused the algorithm. He danced in feminine silhouettes, flirted in interviews with ambiguous quips like, "Who says I'm not?" and waved pride flags at concerts like confetti. Some fans hail him as a queer ally, even a modern-day Bowie, unapologetically fluid, liberated, and unbothered. But others see a problem. He profits off queer-coded fashion, aesthetics, and fan devotion without ever confirming he's part of the community. Is that empowerment or exploitation? In a world where LGBTQ+ visibility still matters, where stars coming out can save lives, Harry's refusal to label himself feels to some like a missed opportunity. But what if that's the point? What if Harry knows exactly what he's doing? What if his androgyny isn't performance, but protest? A protest against a world that demands an answer he doesn't owe? He's never said, "I'm gay." He's never said, "I'm not." And maybe, just maybe, that's the most radical thing he's done. 2. Ross Lynch, the boyfriend who might be more than that. Ross Lynch is the kind of crush who doesn't ask for your attention. He just has it. From Disney Channel sweetheart to shirtless rock star in the Driver era, Ross has grown up in front of our eyes, and so have the rumors. He's been in a long-term relationship with actress Jazz Sinclair. They're adorable. They post cute photos. They show up on red carpets together. But still, the whispers won't stop. Because Ross isn't just loved by girls. He's adored by boys, gay boys, bi boys, boys who see something familiar in the way he moves, the way he plays with fashion, the way he lets his body language flirt without permission. There are TikToks breaking down how he looks at his male bandmates, threads that analyze his mesh shirts and crop tops. And then there's that photo. Ross in a crop top, captioned with a rainbow emoji, and silence. He's never said he's queer, but he hasn't said he isn't either. And that space between assumed straightness and possible queerness is where things get complicated. Some fans crown him a queer icon without the label. Others accuse him of queerbaiting, using the ghee aesthetic, the support, the virality of queerness without actually claiming it. And Ross? He just keeps smiling, painting his nails, praising androgyny, and letting people wonder. Maybe it's freedom, maybe it's marketing, maybe it's genuine ambiguity in a generation that's tired of boxes. But here's the truth. Ross Lynch isn't playing it safe. He's not hiding. He's just refusing to explain himself. And in today's world, that might be the boldest move of all. 3. Michael Cimino, the straight actor who made us feel seen. When Love, Victor premiered, Michael Cimino became an overnight sensation. Not because he was a heartthrob, but because he was honest. Or at least that's how it felt. His portrayal of Victor wasn't flashy. It was soft, scared, hopeful. Queer audiences saw themselves in every hesitation, every smile that tried to hide confusion. He was us. So, when Michael said in interviews that he was straight, something didn't quite add up, for some. How can a straight man play a queer role that well? Was he method acting, or was he hiding something? The speculation exploded. TikTok edits, Twitter debates, think pieces titled "Queer Enough?" Some praised him for embracing the role. Others accused him of taking up space. He didn't back down. He said, "I feel like I'm part of the community, just not in the way people expect." What does that mean? Biromantic, emotionally queer, allyship on steroids? Michael leaned in. He danced to gay fan edits. He joined pride campaigns. He responded to hate with kindness. But he never labeled himself. Never said, "I am." Never said, "I'm not." And that tension became the story. For some, he represents the beauty of allyship. Someone who doesn't have to be queer to fight for us. For others, he's a reminder of how even the best intentions can still feel like appropriation. But one thing's for sure. Michael Cimino made millions of queer youth feel seen, even if he never said the words. And sometimes, that's enough to start a revolution. 4. Timothée Chalamet, the soft boy we all project onto. Timothée Chalamet walks like poetry and dresses like he just woke up from a dream where gender didn't exist. He's the fantasy we didn't know we were allowed to have until he made it real. In Call Me By Your Name, he made first love feel like a secret we all once held. That look, that silence, that peach. And since then, one question has never gone away. Is Timothée Chalamet actually queer? Or is he just the most beautiful blank canvas we've ever projected onto? He's never confirmed anything. No coming out, no proud denial, no slip in an interview. Just silence. Intimate roles with men, gentle touches with male co-stars, red carpets with barely there shirts and pearl chokers. Tumblr has built entire religions around less. Some say he's the future, fluid, label-free, beyond categories. Others say he's playing a game, that queer people don't get to be this vague without paying a price, that if you take space in queer-coded roles, you owe something back. But Timothée never answers. He just floats above it, all cheekbones and whispers. Maybe he's straight. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's already told us, just not in words. What do you think? Drop 4 if you've ever been confused by someone who never said a word, but somehow said everything. And tell us below, is Timothée one of us, or just really good at pretending? Don't forget to subscribe, because the next names will make you question even more. 5. Tyler Posey, the one who spoke, then took it back. Tyler Posey never fit the mold. Shirtless werewolf by day, chaotic internet flirt by night, he radiated bisexual chaos before the word even trended. He kissed his guy friends on camera. He teased queerness in interviews. He once said, "I've been with guys before." And the internet lost its mind. Was that his coming out? Or just a sentence? Fans rushed in. Articles declared him queer. TikTok crowned him a B-king. But then, he backpedaled. Said he didn't mean it like that. That he felt pressured to label himself. That it got out of control. And just like that, the celebration turned into confusion. Some said he was brave, figuring things out in real time. Others accused him of queerbaiting, of using queerness as a clique. And Tyler? He kept talking about trauma, about not being ready, about being somewhere in between, but never quite about what he was. Is he still figuring it out? Was it just a phase? Or is he quietly queer, just not for our approval? Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe the mess is the message. Subscribe for more stories like this, because the next name is even harder to label. 6. Dominic Fike, the rock star who won't be tamed. Dominic Fike is chaos wrapped in glitter and Gucci. One week he's in a dress. The next, a buzz cut and face tattoos. On Euphoria, he played Elliot, the seductive third wheel who made us question everything. Off-screen, he dated Hunter, chauffeur. Or did he? Photos showed them kissing, holding hands, going to Fashion Week together. But Dominic never confirmed a thing. He didn't deny it either. When asked about his sexuality, he just laughed. That's a weird question. And that's classic Dominic. Just enough truth to make it feel real, never enough to let you know. Is that power or avoidance? Some say he's the future of Gen Z masculinity. Unlabeled, unapologetic, unbothered. Others say it's marketing wrapped in mystery. That queer-coded energy without confirmation is the oldest Hollywood trick in the book. But maybe Dominic doesn't care what we think. Maybe he is queer and doesn't feel like explaining. Maybe he's not and just likes making people squirm. Or maybe he's in between, undefined and unwilling to perform clarity for our comfort. Drop 6, if you've ever felt like you were playing a role in your own life. And tell us, is Dominic Fike the queer icon Gen Z needs? Or just a beautifully packaged question mark? Hit subscribe, because the next ones on our list are even more confusing. 7. Jacob Elordi, the pretty boy who keeps you guessing. Jacob Elordi is the kind of beautiful that feels dangerous. Tall, angular, with that cold glass charm that dares you to look twice. From Euphoria to Saltburn, he's played characters who flirt with the line. Sometimes toxic, sometimes tender. Always mysterious. But off-screen, Jacob feels even harder to read. Paparazzi follow his every move. And yet, he gives them nothing. He's dated famous women, but never really talked about it. He shows up at fashion weeks draped in oversized, genderless silhouettes. His photo shoots scream softness, lace, pearls, eyeliner. And when fans point it out, silence. And that silence, once again, is the story. People speculate, whisper, wonder. Is Jacob gay? Is he fluid? Is he just fashion-forward? But he never corrects, never confirms. He lets the rumors roll like smoke without ever touching the flame. Some say it's calculated, queerbaiting for fashion clout. Others say it's survival, keeping something sacred in a world that devours labels. But for some, especially young queer men, Jacob is something else entirely. A mirror of that early confusion, that want, that hiding, that hope. Because even if he's not queer, the way he holds space for queerness, through his roles, his presence, his refusal to conform, feels like representation in its own right. And maybe that's why people hold on. Not because he said anything, but because he reminds us of someone we used to be, or someone we were too afraid to become. Drop 7. If you've ever kept something to yourself, just to feel safe. Tell us below. Does Jacob owe us clarity, or is his silence a kind of strength? 8. Shawn Mendes, the sweetheart who couldn't escape the question. For years, Shawn Mendes has been a soft place in pop culture. Kind eyes, warm smile, lyrics about love that sound like the first time you ever had your heart broken. But behind the clean-cut image, there's been one question that never left him alone. Is he gay? And it wasn't curiosity, it was obsession. The internet dissected everything. How he crossed his legs, how he talked, how he touched his friends. Fan theories turned into accusations. Interviews turned into interrogations. And Shawn? He tried to keep up. He denied it. Again and again, but the more he denied it, the louder the question got. In a GQ interview, he confessed it haunted him, that he couldn't wear certain clothes or move a certain way without being called gay. That he started policing his own behavior, not because he was ashamed, but because he felt like he was being punished just for being soft. And that's the tragedy. Not whether Shawn Mendes is queer, but that we made his identity a prison. Some people still think he's hiding. Some think he's just gentle. Some don't care either way. But the impact is real. Because for so many young boys watching, boys who walk a little softer, who cry a little easier, who sing love songs like Secrets, Shawn was proof that masculinity doesn't have to be loud to be strong. Even if he never says the words, he's already told us something more powerful. That tenderness should never be confused for shame. Stop asking the question and just listen to what they've already said with their hearts. Subscribe for the final 2 names, and trust me, we saved some surprises for the end. 9. Tom Holland, the golden boy who won't play your game. Tom Holland is the kind of celebrity who makes you believe in good guys again. He dances, he laughs, he messes up interviews, and America eats it up. But behind the Marvel charm and puppy-eyed smile is a curious silence, one that's been growing louder every year. Despite being one of the most visible young actors in the world, Tom rarely talks about his private life. Yes, he's been linked to Zendaya. Yes, they've been seen holding hands. But still, there's a feeling people can't shake. Maybe it's the softness, the ease with which he hugs his male co-stars, the way he lets himself be vulnerable on screen and off, the way he once dressed in full drag for a lip-sync battle performance that went viral for all the right reasons. No hesitation, no defense, just pure, fearless joy. And yet, people speculate. Some say he's too perfect to be straight. Others argue that his comfort with queerness is what makes him so refreshing. And then there are those who push harder, demanding labels, proof, clarity. But Tom gives none of it. He keeps his silence, not like he's hiding, but like he refuses to perform his truth for entertainment. In a culture that devours every personal detail, Tom's refusal to play that game is radical. He might be straight. He might not. But maybe the point is this: he doesn't owe us anything. Don't forget to subscribe, because even the last name on this list will make you rethink what coming out really means. 10. Keke Palmer, the woman who never asked for your approval. Keke Palmer has been in the spotlight since she was a child, and she's never played by the rules. She sings, she acts, she hosts, she roasts. She's a one-woman universe of talent and confidence. But when it comes to her sexuality, she's kept it quiet, intentionally, powerfully. Over the years, there have been rumors about who she dates, what she implies, the way she flirts with women on camera and online, the subtle queerness in her fashion, her body language, her vibe. But she's never labeled herself. Instead, she gave us this: I don't feel the need to define myself to anyone because I'm always changing. That line hit different because for queer women, especially Black queer women, visibility has always come with risk. Keke knew that. She's lived it. And yet, she's never apologized for being fluid, open, and free. She's dropped songs like I Don't Belong to You with lyrics and visuals that screamed liberation. She's played queer-coded roles without explanation. She lets you feel the energy and draw your own conclusions. Some call her coy, others call her brave. But maybe Keke Palmer is something more dangerous, a woman who doesn't need your permission to be whole. In an industry that demands every woman be understandable, She chooses to be complicated, and that in itself is a revolution. Drop 10 if you've ever felt like your truth was too big for someone else's box. Let us know. Is Keke Palmer quietly living her truth or loudly rewriting the rules? Subscribe now for more stories that live between the lines, because not everything needs to be shouted to be real. If this made you think or feel, drop a comment with the number of the story that hit you hardest. Tap subscribe and the bell so you never miss a new Silent Fame deep dive. Share this with a friend who still believes visibility only counts when it's labeled. And remember, privacy isn't a crime and ambiguity isn't a flaw. See you in the next one.